I have a question for you. And that question is, are you ready to discover your next audiobook obsession? If you are, then this video hopes to guide you to 5 audiobooks, historical audiobooks. Hello there, my name is Julie. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. This is Bookish Travels, where we discover days and explore books. So without further ado, let's get into these 5 books. Now the first one is called The Cardinal by Alison Weir. This is her most recent book that's been published. And it is all about Cardinal Wolsey, who was a cardinal in the reigns of Henry VII and the VIII. We mostly know him for being the sort of right-hand man to Henry VIII, sorting out all his problems. But he kind of went out of favour when he could not seem to get a divorce from Catherine of Aragon. Now this book covers the whole expanse of his life. We start when he's a young boy and it ends when he dies. And if you know your little bit of Tudor history and you think you know about this cardinal through other books and non-fiction books, then I would still definitely give this one a go, because Alison has a way of writing where it keeps you engaged even though you think you know everything there is to know. Of course, some of her books have a bit of poetic license, but it's very based on fact. I'm going to put all the run times and everything in a little thing here, so you can look at that whilst I'm talking. Now, I'm not going to say too much about this book because I am hoping to do a special video about this book. However, if it doesn't happen, I just wanted to say that the audiobook is very well done, as they always are. And what I really like about it, he becomes a man himself. It's not just like a historical figure. You can go ooh ah and learn about all the gory details of his life, his ups and his downs, his failings, etc. He becomes an actual person that you learn about and learn to sort of like care about. Now the next book I'm going to talk about is called The Pretender by Jo Larkin. And this book I listened to way back in April when I was actually on holiday, and I have to say I really enjoyed it. There's humour in this book, and it actually starts in some of the early stages of the book, well, of the first chapter, I think. And I thought, do you know what? I think this book's going to be a ride, and it certainly was. Now, this book again happens in the Tudor period and with Henry VII, because in his time there was 2 pretenders to his throne, and this book is about one of them. Not heard of this author before, and I kind of stumbled across this audiobook, and I took a chance on it. And as I said from the very beginning, I was like, yeah, this is going to be a ride. This is going to be fun. There is depth and there is feeling to this book. There is some sarcasm, some humour, and some kind of heartfelt moments, and I really enjoyed every single minute I was listening to this book, and I thoroughly recommend it. The next audiobook I want to mention is called Munich Wolf, and I have mentioned this book from time to time in various other videos. Now this book is by Rory Clements, and this was the first experience I had with this author. It's certainly not going to be the last, because I found the writing to be extraordinarily engaging, and I just liked the way he put the words on the page. I know every author does that, but there was some grit to it that I really enjoyed, and I felt actually really suited the book itself, because Munich, it happens in Munich in Germany in wartime, and the wolf is a very gritty policeman who tries to solve some murders, but in a very dicey and quite difficult times where bureaucracy and politicalness and the delicacy he needed to have, because it was the time of the SS and all sorts, and of course he was a policeman, but he felt he didn't have the necessary help, should I say, or he was hindered a lot by all the political and the difficulties he faced at this period in time. I really enjoyed it. The pace was well done. The plot was just seamless. We just listened to it, and there was some books you have really exciting bits and then really dull bits and then a bit more excitement, but for me, I enjoyed every single minute. Now, the fourth book is something completely different from all the other ones I've mentioned. It is historical. It's written by Jill Paul, and it's called A Beautiful Rival. And it's a really good title for that, because beauty is very much in the story, because the two rivals are the big sort of cosmetic giants. Well, they are now, but at the time they were still building up their popularity, between Estee Lauder and Helena Rubinstein. These two ladies couldn't have been so far apart in their lives and their destinations. They both obviously loved their business. They both built their businesses from ground upwards, but they both had a very different ethos to work and their business. And let's just say we had quite a few differences. I think out of the two, I really enjoyed Helena Rubinstein's story more than Estee Lauder. But having said that, I enjoyed both very, very much. It was very different. I do enjoy Jill Paul. I haven't read them all, but all the ones I have read, I've really enjoyed them. Now we come to the fifth one, and it's actually a non-fiction book. And it kind of ties in with the first book I mentioned, The Cardinal, and it's called The Palace by Gareth Russell. Now, this is the second book I've listened to of his. His first one I listened to was about Catherine Howard, and that was really, really interesting. It was just chock full of fact, but we're not here to talk about that book. We're here to talk about The Palace, and The Palace is Hampton Court. As with The Cardinal, I do hope to feature this book in a exciting video. So again, I'm not going to talk too much about it, except to say, if you enjoy non-fiction and if you enjoy listening to a story about the beginnings of a palace, then this one's definitely for you. As I said, it's non-fiction, so it can be a little bit slow in parts, but I didn't find it so. It started way back and it ended as Hampton Court is today. It was fascinating, the story of this palace, what it's seen, what it's been through, the small start to it that now become this huge grand palace. Totally and utterly fascinating. I thoroughly recommend every single book book of these that I've mentioned. So if you're a bit of a loss what to read or listen to this summer, I hope that I've given you some excellent suggestions. Do let me know what you think of them. Do let me know if you're actually going to pick them up, because when I do videos like this and suggest these books, I do wonder if people actually do go, yeah, I want to read that, and yeah, I'm going to pick it up, because that would be wonderful. I hope you enjoyed another audiobook summer 2025 video, and I will of course be back with something more. If you like what you saw, please do come back for more, and I will see you guys in my next one. Thanks again. Bye.